Welcome back, folks. Alright, so I just did my rounds there, and I kind of got downloaded, and I think I mentioned a couple of videos ago when I was doing that whole mage thing, you know, with all the speech stuff, that I was going to really start working on my destruction magic. So I came back over here, you know, because a couple of days had passed. I wanted to buy some more grand soul gems, and I noticed I was getting real close to leveling here. Okay, so for right now, I just want to go ahead and get that courage out of the way. Okay, wow, that didn't take much. All that work just to smack her with it one time. And then buy 5 more rounds of destruction training.
Much knowledge lies within the college's walls. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do.
Now, I don't have a ton of potions I can sell right now. I really need to get back to Whiterun and grab all my alchemy ingredients and get a whole bunch of, you know, these dummy potions crafted up for selling power. But that's okay, you know, training at lower levels is pretty cheap. You know, we've got the gold to cover this kind of thing, so at this point, you know, if I can't quite get all my money back, I'm okay with that. The training to me is more important. So notice I just got my destruction up to 30, and I'm going to show you exactly why I did that here in just a moment. Alright, so I made out pretty good there on selling, but I'm actually completely out of selling power now, so yeah, I'm definitely going to be hitting that. Okay, I'm going to scoop up all my soul gems. So I like to keep my soul gems in this table because it gets really confusing when they're bundled in with like all your other stuff. But you know, speaking of all that other stuff, anything that I might want to enchant right now, I'm going to grab it. So right now that's my Forsworn gear. All the hides, all the iron, and I'm going to be overweight here real quick, and that's okay. I'm going to grab these ingots just in case I can get my smithing up to 50 and unlock Orcish smithing. Alright, armed with my alchemy gloves here, I am going to take a moment and do a whole bunch of dummy crafting. Because I need some selling power. Just to kind of go through some of the, you know, the whole thing that I'm doing right now. Things that are unlocked. You know, I'm just going to kind of... I'm not going to run myself down to 0 though. Notice I just grabbed every single ingredient I've ever collected, and I never like to go below 2 on anything. So on a lot of these categories, I'll just kind of do that. I don't have anything to go with that, and that's okay. This is the one that really makes the money here. I'm just kind of, you know, curious to see on where I'm at with perk points. Now, the reason I need to be aware of that is, yeah, we're going to be leveling in this video also, but, you know, when I was talking about that destruction magic, I'm level 30 now. So what I'm going to show is this augmented frost, that 25% extra damage, but I'm going to hold back on that because that's going to chew up 2 perk points just to get up to that. So, you know, I'm going to kind of see where I'm at. I'd like to be able to do that, and I'd also like to be able to, you know, put a little more into my alchemy, which I'm actually going to do right now since I'm crafting the potions for that. Not only that, that's going to help with my smithing potion when I'm ready to craft that, so that's kind of a priority right now in this specific video. But here's really where it's at, so I definitely want 1 more perk point, because I should be able to hit that 50 without a problem here in this video. So yeah, that's why I kind of say I want to be just aware enough. Not only that, you know, I want to bump that up again when I hit level 80, which we're absolutely going to be doing in this video. And even if, you know, I might even get lucky enough to get up to 100. You know, that might not be this video, but, you know, I'll kind of play that by ear. That'll be soon, though. Alright, so back to our dummy potions. Okay, and don't use the bear claws, you need those for house building, and don't use the blue butterfly wings, we will need those for crafting enchanting potions here real soon. Okay, now don't use your giant's toes on this. There's a much better selling potion. Actually, that is it. But that belongs in a different category. Sometimes there's overlap in the ingredients. So what that actually crafts is Fortify Health. And it's, you know, again, Giant's Toe and Wheat. But wow, look at that selling price there. Now, Giant's Toe, I will run myself down to 0 just because it's a freaking pound. And, you know, I clearly don't want to be carrying that weight around. So getting back up top side, I will go ahead and burn this. Carry wheat, yeah. This doesn't sell great, but it sells decent enough. Now, I don't like to do this because of the glowing mushrooms. That's needed for the smithing potion, so do not craft that if you're getting low on glowing mushrooms. In fact, if you've got, like... I actually wouldn't craft with glowing mushrooms right now. I'll go ahead and rephrase that. So here's the enchanting, and again, I'm going to wait on this, you know, until I'm getting ready to do my enchanting so I can make sure I'm going to craft the strongest potion that I can possibly craft. Same thing with Fortify Smithing. We're not going to do those just yet. Fortify Health, the only one that really sells good is, you know, that one I showed you with the Giant's Toe, so I really wouldn't use anything else for those. Okay, and I'm down to 2. Fortify Marksman, I don't want to use those either. You know, I'd rather keep that stuff for my bows. The exception is if I have a whole bunch of juniper berries and I got some garlic to toast, I will do those. But again, I'll keep enough juniper berries back to combine with Elf's Ear to make my marksman potions for my archery skill. You know, the canister and spider egg, those combine with the other thing, the damage magic regen, so I don't like to use those for that reason as well. Okay, guys, again, you know, I'm not strong enough on those, so I'm going to skip that. I wouldn't craft with Nimroot or Ice Wraith Teeth, so, you know, skip that for now. At some point in the game we will. When we get rid of the Nimroots for one quest, we get rid of, you know, the Ice Wraith Teeth for another quest, you know, then I'll be able to start using those and getting the invisibility potions going. Paralysis, I wish I had the mats, I just don't. If I had the garlic, again, I'd craft a few of those. Okay, I do have some of these I can spare. Okay, I'm going to keep the snowberries. Again, that combines with the blue butterfly wings to make our... our enchanting potions. Okay, now these don't sell great, but when you've got, you know, like 20 of them, it adds up. Not only that, they don't craft real good either, but again, when you have, you know, 20 or so, they do add up. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I can do right now. You know, I might be missing a couple of potions there, but as far as the good selling, you know, readily available crafting goes, that's usually what I go to early game. So now I'm going to download a lot of these ingredients. I usually like to keep 2 back in my inventory, unless it's stuff I need, you know I'm going to need for house crafting, then I don't like to keep any of those on my person at all. Okay, now Blisterwort we're going to need, you know, for crafting the smithing potion, so I'll keep those. Same thing with Blue Butterfly Wing. Okay, that's needed for a potion or a side quest later on, so, you know, for now we're going to store all of our fire salts for that reason. We need 10 of them. Okay, again, the glowing mushrooms we're going to need for crafting. Keep all of your Ice Wraith Teeth stored. Keep all of your Nimroot stored. Keep all of your Saber Cat Teeth stored, again for house building. Keep all of your Slaughterfish Scales stored, except for a couple, but again for house crafting. Antlers, always keep them stored for house crafting. Snowberries, keep them on you for the potions that we need for enchanting. Sprig and Sap too, if you happen to have any. Taproots, you always need to make sure you have 3 on you for when we go to Solstheim. Okay, now guys, I am hecka overweight, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. If I really wanted to, you know, I could hand some stuff off to her, but honestly, I don't know if she's got enough in her weight to, you know, carry it all. So because I'm so close, and this is another reason, you know, especially early game, that I really like to use this house as central storage, because I'm so close to all of my crafting stuff here. I really don't mind the 20 seconds or so it takes to just kind of, you know, painfully slowly walk over here. Alright guys, now anytime I do any kind of crafting and I'm about ready to really start dumping a bunch of stuff into things, and you know, especially if I'm going to start playing with perk points, I always like to drop a hard save here. Reason being is if you screw something up, you can just always rely on that save point and do it all over again. Another thing that I really like to do is make sure it's very early morning, 8 a.m. folks. And the reason I say 8 a.m. is this way the stores are all reset. Not only are all the stores, you know, reset, you know, unless you literally just went shopping right before you did that, but it also resets her money bags.
I don't claim to be the
so, you know, if I start dumping a bunch of money into her, but I can't, you know, get my money back, this gives me the whole day to do crafting to get all my gold back, you know, to go out, craft whatever I need to craft, get back here and get it sold. Okay, so now with any vendor, I always like to check just to kind of see if there's anything. Ooh, absorb health, honestly, that's a good one to have. I think that's a good strong seller for when we do our dummy enchanting. For you know, enchanting those dummy daggers and then selling. I think that'll raise the cost a little bit, or the selling price. So, you know, if you're lucky enough to find that in your game, grab it. Another thing that can help with your buying and selling power, and again, guys, I always forget to do this, is that gift of charity. And that stacks with the amulet. So if you have the amulet of Dibella or the amulet of Zenithar, those both will help your buying and selling prices. But, you know, honestly, I totally forgot to do that. I'm completely overweight, so walking all the way back to that, you know, that gift of charity, the beggar child up there in the town square where the circle where the Elder Gleam tree is. I don't know what I'm trying to say there.
Have you met my father?
That's where you'll find her,
steward
but it
at
is
the
worth, you know,
Dragon's
it to do that just again for that better buying and selling
I help
prices.
my find.
Okay, the magicka damage doesn't really sell good, neither does the burning, but honestly, I still don't have burning in my game. Like, how is that even possible? So, you know, it's cheap enough, I will just go ahead and buy that for disenchanting purposes only. Not only that, disenchanting, you know, that gives you the credit toward your enchanting skill anyways. Okay, now again, you know, I've got the bow circlet already, but if you don't have anything that does more bow damage, buy it. That's going to be critical in this video here. Okay, I've already got frost and fire resistance. Increases your health, I don't use it. But, you know, for you new players, sometimes that is handy to have, so, you know, you can disenchant that and put that on rings and jewelry and, you know, some other clothing items. And that'll really, you know, bump your health up, overall health. So, you know, if you're just really having trouble in a fight, that is another way to increase your survivability. I don't believe I have pickpocket yet, and I'm going to get that too here, probably now, you know, since I know I've got the selling power. Reason being is I can start working on my, I think it's my pickpocketing skill, and it's going to cost 3 perk points to do it, but you can unlock a perk there for 100 extra pounds of carry weight. Alright, so restoration spells, yeah, I'm not big on it, but again, you know, golly, that's expensive and heavy, so that's not the right item anyway. Okay, now this is where I'm going to go right for iron, all things iron and all things leather. Okay, now you can see I really filled up her purse there, and that's why I said do this, you know, first thing in the morning, that way you have all day to make your money back here, and it will not be a problem. Okay, so right into the potions that I just crafted up. That's close enough. Alright, folks, so all the stuff that I, you know, already pulled off my follower, grabbed out of the house, it's all going right into smithing. Now, this will not up your smithing right off the top, unfortunately. You know, this does nothing for the skill, which really sucks, honestly. I don't know why it doesn't. But, now you might want to keep a couple of all this stuff back. Maybe, like, you know, 2 for now, because some of this does, you know, belong in house crafting. Okay, now I got a ton of leather. I'm not gonna craft a whole bunch of these down just yet. Maybe about half of what I have. Okay, so for right now, anyway, you know, we're not done here. So first things first, I'm going to run over here and smelt everything that I have in ore down to ingots, as far as iron at least. You know, maybe not everything else. I'll see what I have. You know, if I've got tons of ore, I might craft a couple of those down, you know. But I do want some ore left back also. And make sure you keep one iron ore back. Always keep one iron ore in your inventory for when you're out free-for-alling. Somebody might want that. And that will increase your standing in that region for Thane. Oh, yep, right down to 1 there. I almost boo-booed. Okay, the silver, I will go ahead and burn all of those because that makes jewelry. And the steel, you know, again, it's not important right now. So go to your jewelry, see anything and everything that you can craft. Now that crafts real good. Now those flawless amethyst and flawless something else, I can't remember what. Garnets maybe. Those are needed for, you know, different quests, but this early in the game, you know, those will come back. So, you know, this stage in the game, I would recommend crafting them, and if you are worried about it, you know, just keep 2 behind, say. So, you know, right now I could get away with crafting 1 of those. And, you know, same thing for that other deal. I could get away with crafting 1, and, you know, I still have got a couple left back. Now, unfortunately, that is a really good seller, so I'm really tempted to just go ahead and craft it anyway.
You think all the council?
I'm going to go for it. The quest can wait. Okay, so as far as, you know, my game goes, that's all I can craft for jewelry right now, and that's okay. That's smithing leveling right there. Building materials, we're going to get into that real soon, guys, but right now I want to craft the dummy daggers, because that's priority for enchanting and reselling to, you know, work on our enchanting skill. But that will come, and that will count toward our smithing skill also. Alright, guys, so right for the iron daggers. And I've got way more strips than leather or iron ingots, and that's okay. Those leather strips, those are going to come into play here real soon. Okay, now while you're doing this process, every time you level up like I just did, go ahead and back out of what you're doing just so you kind of know where your perks are at. Now, I don't need to specifically right now because, you know I need to be up to 50 for the next thing that I want in smithing. So, you know, right now, no harm done. Now, I'm not going to activate that level up also because I want to run off and get some more training done. Actually, I just did that for this level, never mind. So I actually can go ahead and unlock that level up. But the next level up, I'm going to wait until I can run off somewhere and get some training done. And then that way, you know, I can do the training, accept the level up, and then do 5 more rounds of training right away. Okay, guys, 1 more. I am so close.
I help my father in more ways.
I need 50. So let's see what I can do with my leather, and this is why I didn't want to do anything with all that leather just yet. Because it's 2 leather strips to 1 piece of leather, so I'm actually real close here. And same type of party, guys. Level 50, booyah. Now I am going to go ahead and burn all that leather and leather strips right now, as a matter of fact. I just don't want to do that quite yet. Because, you know, I want to back out and see where I'm at with my overall leveling when I accept this level up.
Don't forget to
okay, so yeah, I can get 1 more round of smithing done here, and that will not be a problem. 50, booyah. Alright guys, this is why I held that perk back. It is going right into Dwarven Smithing. Come on, perk points. Work with me here. There it is, baby. And I still have 1 more perk point. So honestly, what I was talking about with that destruction, this is going to work out. Because I'm going to level at least 2-3 more times. I'm guessing, you know. So that'll definitely open up. So I'll have 1 here and 1 here to hit that Augmented Frost on Destruction. And then that, you know, hopefully I'll level up enough to also get that perk dumped into Enchanting when I hit level 80. So again, I'll play that whole thing by ear when the time comes. But, you know, I'm kind of back and forth between going one way or another on that. One way I'm going to get a 20% boost on that enchantment. And if I go the, you know, Destruction way, you know, it costs 2 perk points, but I will get a 25% you know, boost. So that's one way to look at that. You know, that's going to cost 2 perk points, whereas if you go this way, it's only going to cost the 1 perk point. Alright guys, so since I hit this and I know I've done everything right so far, I'm going to once again do one more hard save. And I like to do multiple saves throughout this process, so if I do make a mistake, I have different options and different saves I can go back and do, so I'm not redoing all this stuff all over again. Alright now, so I'm not going to actually start crafting with Orcish yet. You know, then I'll kind of go from there and do the rest.
Pretty much any.
Okay, so now the first thing that I have to do, and this is going to take me a minute, I have to count up all the soul gems that I can use for dummy crafting. Wow, I have 47 just in petty soul gems. Now I'm up to 77, that includes the lesser. So 85, guys, that's where I'm at for dummy soul gem crafting. Not a bad deal. So that number 85, that's going to dictate how many daggers I know I need to be able to dummy enchant.
Finest weapons.
And I've got well over 85, so I'm going to sell the rest. And I just realized she has no gold, so I'm going to, you know, buy something that I know I'm going to eventually need. And guys, that's going to be corundum, and that's going to be steel, again for house building. So yeah, scoop that stuff up, you know, if you need to get her some gold, so that you can, you know, make some gold back. You might as well get the free ingots while you're at it. Okay, so that leaves me the magic number of 85 daggers for all of my dummy soul gems. Okay, and don't forget about all those leather bracers that we crafted up. That's a ton of weight sitting right there. Okay, and I'm still wildly overweight, and that's okay. My follower can hold on to all those dummy daggers, and that'll be a big part of the weight. Now, unfortunately, I'm still overweight. Now my follower is completely full, so I'm going to go download some of that stuff I talked about keeping back, you know, especially the pelts and stuff, because that stuff really adds up as well. So, you know, I've got a decision to make right now. What do I really want in training, and what's going to benefit me the most right now? You know, another 30 skill levels in destruction. You know, I'm at 30 right now. I'd need to get to 60. What is that? 6 more rounds of training? And I don't think I'm going to get there. So, you know, that's something I might work on, but it's not super urgent. In the world of training, I really want to start getting going, because this links to the spell tombs you can buy. So I really want to get some good spell tombs coming in from Conjuration. Right now we're only able to cast that Flame Astronaut. And guys, I want more than that. There's like one of the gods you can summon, and he fights for you. I think it's called a Dramega Lord or something like that. I can never pronounce that word. But man, he's super powerful. Not only that, casting him really levels up that Conjuration. So as soon as you learn that skill, or that spell tomb to conjure that thing, you can hit legendary and just keep doing that, just recasting that dude, and you keep leveling that skill up super, super fast. But again, you know, it's not super urgent, but it is something else I want to do. You know, so right now, just thinking about perk points and stuff, you know, that's a ways off, you know, or excuse me, the destruction magic is a ways off yet, you know, getting up to 60, so I guess there's no harm in getting the training now, just to kind of open up more options. As far as other training goes, you know, most of my other... Oh, pickpocket. We need training in pickpocket, and a lot of it. Reason being is once we hit level 50, we will be unlocking that for another 100 pounds of carry weight, and guys, that's huge. That's just really... it makes for easier breathing when you're out and about. So, but again, it's not super, super urgent. Just, you know, I might kind of go back and forth in the training between different ones here. It would be really nice to start working on my sneak. And again, I like to use 2 perk points here. One for stealth, one for muffled movement. But I'm already over in the sneak skill, so no reason to train in sneak. Light armor, again, I don't train in that, just because it comes. So I do like to open up 1 perk point there, and 1 perk point here for the bonus. And then, you know, the rest will come in time, but again, not super urgent. That's pretty much it for training stuff right now, unfortunately, because again, the skills are just getting up kind of high on the other stuff to worry about training. So yeah, I guess I will go ahead and just do the destruction training for now.
Much knowledge. No matter
Never
what,
go without
knowledge will
leveling
endure.
and not going to get your
can teach
5
but I won't
training
be held
sessions done
responsible for what you
somewhere.
do with the
Because
knowledge.
guys, I'm telling you, when you want to unlock a perk and you're really far away from training and you thought about all those times you leveled up and you could have taken just, 5 extra minutes to go get your training done, it just really makes you, want to take a break and go to the gym or something. Okay, so now I didn't quite level up there, and that's okay. I'm going to show you guys a little trick for that. Go ahead and, assuming you've got the courage spell unlocked, you can just go ahead and keep recasting this, and that will, level you up as well. Now, it might take a minute because that magicka's got to, regenerate. But if you really want to speed it up, you can pass time, drink a potion, etc. And you only have to pass an hour. Okay, there it is. Level up, baby. Okay, now I got 2 perk points. Amazing. So now I'm going to go ahead and once again buy my free training sessions.
Spells and incantations.
I also want to see what she's got in the way of grand soul gems. Booyah! And I'm going to buy all of those. And of course, as usual, all the cheaper stuff to boot. Take full advantage of that selling power. So this just bought free training, some soul gems, all sorts of goodies. Look at all that gold we've got, guys. Booyah.
Mirabelle will be waiting for you.
Alright, now before I leave the college, I could actually go around and hit all the vendors again, scoop up soul gems. But again, I want to keep a real close eye on my selling power. So I'm getting, some of those more expensive selling potions kind of low. And honestly, I think I'm okay on grand soul gems right now. So I'm going to hold off on that just for the time being until I know where I'm at with my selling power. Alright guys, I kind of brain farted there. I went back to Whiterun and I was like, wait, I don't like to do my enchanting here. I actually prefer Windhelm. And if you don't have that unlocked in your game, no sweat. You can actually just hire the carriage driver right here at Whiterun Stables, and I think it only costs like 20 gold or something. And he will teleport you to this spot, and you can just walk right in through the front doors. Now, as soon as you get into town, take a sharp left, and you'll come down this corridor, and you'll be here in Central Square. Now, once again, you have to pass that time to make sure it's 8 a.m. Give yourself a good head start on the day, just like before. But guys, it's just another area where you can craft. And the thing I like about this is you've got your blacksmith here. So you can do all of your normal buying and selling, for smithing stuff. Now guys, this is something that you might want in your games if you're just, if you're having issues with diseases and stuff, especially when we do the Dawnguard quest, dealing with all the vampires and stuff, it can be more prevalent. Now I only like to do something like that if I can put 2 effects on one enchanted clothing item, because I don't like the fact that it takes up a clothing item. So, I might put, say, Archery, attack power up, and disease immunity on the necklace. But again, I'm not quite there yet, so personally I'm going to hold off on this. And again, I don't like to use the increase of stamina stuff. I like other things on my clothing items. So, just personally, I don't use it. But, for you newer players out there, you can play with these things. Make different enchanting combinations and see what's working out well for you. And see what you really just don't seem to care too much about. Okay, and just like all the other vendors, guys, I'm going right for everything iron, everything leather. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I already did. Now, I know I already got my Orcish smithing unlocked, but we need to go higher than that. We need to get up to ebony smithing, because we need to put a perk point in there so that we can unlock Skyrim smithing when the time comes. Not only that, every time you level up your smithing, you're able to smith, or I should say upgrade, weapons and armor just that much better. Okay, once again, make sure you've got 1 iron ore left back in the bank. So the reason I like to do my smithing and enchanting combination part here is because there's an enchanting table right by it. So if we become overweight, for whatever the reason, it's not far to go start getting stuff enchanted and getting it sold. There's tons of vendors right here.
I didn't touch it.
Hammers don't have legs.
Did you look back? I think I saw it there.
Dude, I'm so close. There's got to be something I can craft here. And that did it. Okay, so just speaking on the devil, I'm overweight. But again, no harm, no foul, because the enchanting table is right over there. Oh, and by the way, after 11 a.m. or noon, I think it is, there's another general store vendor that will appear right there behind that booth. And that's another person you can sell off some of this junk to when we're done crafting it. Okay, so I can definitely disenchant that absorb health. That should up the value on some of the dummy stuff that we're about to enchant. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disenchant the Archery too right now. Reason being, we're about to make super suits, guys. It is time. I've been talking about this for far too long, and it is time to just get it done. Actually, I'm going to keep that for now. No harm in holding on to that. Also, I'm going to hold on to these things right up until the moment I'm ready to craft the super suit, and I'm not ready to do that right now. So yeah, it's better safe than sorry. I'm going to hold back. It was that. So go ahead and highlight the Petty Soul Gem, the dagger, and now you can kind of go through and see what's going to make the most money. Now, I literally just enchanted that absorb health, and I want to see where that's at. 488. Okay, not a bad seller. It's a little stronger than that. That's terrible. Terrible. Wow, I just can't seem to beat 488. Terrible. Terrible. That's pretty close, but not quite there. Alright, so yeah, 488 is going to be the best thing I have. But whatever you have, guys, just, you know, do the strongest selling thing, you know, the strongest value that you can possibly get your hands on. So guys, it's going to be a while. You know, I'll kind of pop back in on the video as I'm going through the process here. And we'll go from there. Now, I like to enchant my stronger soul gems that are filled with weaker souls first because they weigh more. So, you know, if I've got some common soul gems, or even greater for that matter, or lesser, that are filled with petty souls, I'll go ahead and do those first, because again, that's shedding more and more weight earlier on. So, you know, I've already gotten rid of some commons, and I'm down to my lessers filled with petty, and then so on. Same thing like common filled with lesser soul, yeah, go ahead and get rid of that too. Alright guys, I just leveled up, so I always like to kind of back out when that happens and just kind of take a look at my perk tree and see where I'm at. Now I've already bought my 5 rounds of training for this level, so I'm safe to do this. Now if I level again, I'm not going to want to accept the level up specifically so I can go do the double training. Okay, so I'm going to pop over to Enchanting. Now I need to hit 80 so I can slap that perk point in right there, and that's absolutely happening. And this just kind of solidifies now. I know I'm going to have the level ups. So, you know, I will probably go ahead and do this on Enchanting. Then I will go back over to that Destruction magic, and I'll start dumping all the perks in here accordingly to get that Augmented Frost up. And, you know, ideally, I'd like to have all 3 going into that so that I can hit that 50% mark at level 60. And I still got 63 freaking daggers to enchant. So, yeah, I feel pretty confident that this is going to happen. So guys, hopefully you're starting to see now why I've done the walkthrough the way that I have thus far. You know, all those weird going out of the way caves that I hit for, you know, hanging moss, you know, going out of my way for blue mountain flowers, you know, looting spots, just all of it, guys. There's always a method to my madness. So, you know, all of that enabled what we're doing right here and right now. So folks, if you're wondering how I have so many like grand soul gems and stuff and how I had the buying power for all that, yeah, you know, sometimes I killed mammoths and filled them that way, but a lot of those were just bought straight up. So, you know, if you're wanting to know how I got to this point in my game where, you know, I had that kind of buying and selling power, you're going to have to give my video series a watch. There's just a whole kind of science behind what I'm doing right now in this video. In other words, a lot of preparation went into this one. Okay, now I could start, you know, dipping into the common soul gems too, but honestly, I just hit another level up, and my enchanting's up to freaking 86. Well over what I needed for that 80 mark for that perk point. So honestly, I'm okay with where I'm at right now. I'll hold on to those commons for maybe some weapon enchanting, you know, when it gets low. Same thing with the graders. That's kind of like what I use those for now. So when you use a grand soul gem to enchant a bow, it'll take 1 greater and 1 common to completely recharge that bow, assuming it's completely empty. So that's just kind of my thought process behind that. And then the black soul gem, that also fills with a grand soul, and you fill those via killing any humanoid enemy in the game. bandits and things of that nature. These are filled strictly by, like, Dragon Priest will give you a Grand Soul, Mammoths will give you Grand Souls, and I think the Wisp Mother, those little blue orbs that kind of fly around before you get into combat with her, I actually think those are Grand Souls too. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm done enchanting for right now, and you can see I'm wildly overweight, and that's okay. Lots and lots of vending options here, so now if you're blacksmith... Oh, one thing that I should say is if you do not have the speech perk unlocked for sell any item to any vendor, the only thing you can do right now is general goods stores to get rid of these daggers, so him, and I think a couple of these other ones too, but they don't always have big banks. And you can also smell those to any smiths, but that's about it. But because I do have my perk unlocked, I could sell those at the Alchemy store, which is right here, or to literally any other vendor. I could buy another Grand Soul Gem if I really wanted to, but it never hurt nobody, I guess. This is where the weight's really going to start dropping off, is when I start getting rid of a lot of these daggers. And there is a beggar in town, by the way, for the Gift of Charity. And it's a full-grown female. It's not a child this time. And sometimes you'll see her at the forge warming up at night. Sometimes you'll see her at one of the other campfires throughout town. But she's wearing, like, ragged clothes. So she's easily identified. But she offers you pickpocket training in addition to... you can also, you know, give her a gold coin.
Take a look.
Yeah, only 96. So, you know, it's kind of tough to... you know, dump gold into her, because the stuff she's selling is just not, you know, stuff you want to be carrying around. You know, sometimes, but not always. Yeah, so this one definitely has better starting cash flow. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out what to buy, honestly, you can just buy a whole bunch of arrows. 0 weight, it gets rid of some gold and puts it in their inventory, and you can actually turn around and sell those later when the speech skill gets up high enough to where these really start getting value. Actually, I'm completely out of iron arrows, so I need those anyway. Amulets, guys. You need at least 3 of each kind of amulet, plus whatever you want for yourself for the house building. So, you know, 4 to 5 amulets of each kind is what you want, so anytime you see those, always buy. Okay, that's good for light armor. Again, that's something I don't really like to use, because it just takes up a space, you know, and things that you can enchant. But if you are having trouble out there, and you feel like you need more armor... there are things like that that you can wear and enchant, you know, on your clothing items for better armor skill. Horker tusks, too. I keep forgetting to talk about that. You also are going to need those for home crafting. So you don't need a ton of them. You know, maybe like 5 or so, you know, just for now. But you can get a ton of those on Souls Time, so they're not hard to farm anyway. Now, there's a sapphire. I'm going to buy it because that's a rare stone. And I can craft really good jewelry with that. And again, straw, goat horns, glass for house crafting also. Also, gemstones, you might as well buy them up, guys. It's just only going to help you get rid of your dagger weight. Okay, now, as soon as you walk into the alchemy store, there's going to be a thing going on, so, you know, you're just going to have to kind of wait it out. But there's a quest here that, you know, it's kind of involved. And I'm going to do that later on when I, you know, kind of hit this whole city real good.
You see, you're not well.
But, you know, just for right now, I'm more interested in unlocking the vendor. I will buy the silver ring just because, you know, I might need that for enchanting here in a minute. And, of course, I just auto-buy all the ingredients at this point in my game since I know I've got the selling power to do that. Now, if you're still overweight like I am, sometimes this blacksmith is real tough to get to. He'll start walking away, and then you end up playing Ring Around the Rosie with him. So if that happens, just stop and stand still. And you can even pass an hour, and sometimes he'll kind of pop back up right here, right in front of you. Okay, so anything I can justify buying, you know, I will, just because, again, I got a ton of weight here I need to dump. Arrows, add up. Any kind of enchanted thing you weren't sure about before, now's the time. Again, for house crafting, get all the corundum stuff. And I think you need some quicksilver too, but not a ton of it. You only need like 1 or 2 of those for some of the shrines. I mean, maybe like 6 total for all the houses. So I'll just buy 9, you know, and that should make me good. Same thing with the matcholite. Always get the steel too. You need a ton of steel and a ton of corundum for the house building. Okay, now I might have actually picked up weight on that exchange, you know, with all the metal ingots that I just bought, and that's okay. I can pawn them off onto my follower. But yeah, I just got rid of all those daggers, guys. So yeah, that's really going to free me up. And I can also go disenchant the things I've already bought. And as that stuff disenchants, that'll also free up some weight. Also, folks, the Grand Soul Gems in and of themselves can really be a lot of weight. So don't feel, don't be shy. You can hand those off to your follower too. That's 14 freaking pounds of Grand Soul Gems that I got sitting there. And these aren't much lighter. So, again, that stuff can really add up fast. So I'm actually going to go ahead and, one more time, drop that save, guys. Boom. Like I said, before I get into any kind of perk stuff or, just really start getting into it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so glad I saved the game. I forgot to run off and go get my training. Now, I may not have enough to sell back to her, and that's okay, guys. We're done. We're done with, our mass, whatever, buying, selling stuff. So whatever potions I can sell to, win back some of this money, great. If I can't quite do it, great. Either way, you win. We got the gold to support this, so it's really not a problem.
Much knowledge lies within the college's walls. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge.
Alright, so 5 more rounds of training under our belt. And I think that bumps me up to level 50 now in training. I'm getting close to another level up here, but honestly, I'm not going to stand here and do the casting thing on my follower with courage. For one, it's going to take a while, but for two, I just kind of want to get back and get this crafting done. See, I've got the perk points to cover this stuff, guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and dump them in right now since I've got that good, solid save already down. I'm going to go right into those things that we've already talked about, and I've already got Orcish smithing unlocked. Bam. Enchanting, I'm up over 80. Bam. I've got Frost enchantments unlocked. Bam. Gonna go right into Destruction. Now I'm only 45. So I will unlock that first tier since I've got the perks to cover this and I'm comfortable. And again, I'm going to keep working on this until I get that up to 60, and that'll stack with my Frost enchantment. And, just make it that much more powerful. Now, guys, a note on this is you do not have to recraft your bows. So let's say, I was like level 59 in Destruction, I was just real close. You can go ahead and craft your bows and enchant them. You're safe to do that. And after you're walking around Skyrim, and you get that one more bump here in the Destruction skill, and you hit that 60, you can go right in here, dump that perk into Augmented Frost, and that will automatically also apply to the enchantment you already put on that bow. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there. You're not wasting the time crafting at that point as far as this particular perk stacking goes with that weapon. Alright guys, and again, I'm going to get that alchemy up here real soon to 80 so I can craft even better both smithing and enchanting potions. So I'm going to go work on alchemy just a little bit more because that's important. Okay, now I'm getting a warning message. Cannot fast travel with enemies nearby. That means there's a dragon around. Oh, right in front of me! And unfortunately, I already disenchanted my archery circlet. So if I really wanted to, I could go ahead and pound my adrenaline rush. And then I can drink that marksman potion to help out a little bit with my attack power. Because what we do not want to happen right now is for him to start killing a bunch of villagers. And that's always a possibility, so now that I see he's attacking villagers, I'm going to have to go down there and check on them after this dragon fight and make sure. And he might have already toasted my flame astronaut, which is super unfortunate. Unfortunately, he kills that thing pretty quick when he's spitting frost out of his mouth. And I need to keep an eye on my own health right now, too. If I get real low here, and I see he's gonna, target me, like right now, I'm just gonna really kind of tunnel vision right there into my red bar. And if it starts getting, a little too close for comfort, I will go ahead and heal up a little more. Okay, so this is real bad timing on this freaking dragon attack. Not only that, he's not up there where the mages are, so I gotta kill him myself. I probably should not have disenchanted that circlet until I was ready to make my super suit. So, lesson learned, and now you guys know. Come on, Buster. Oh, and be careful not to fall off the bridge when you're fighting a dragon here. It's real easy to take a wrong turn and just fall right off this bridge, and that is an instant death, by the way, and I'm speaking from personal experience. Okay, now he's gonna land because I got him low enough. Oh, I hate it when he lands up there. So now we're gonna actually have to find a sweet spot to be able to shoot him from, and this is tricky. Sometimes the mages will even go up there and kill him for you. And I honestly don't even know if I can get a shot on him, but I'm gonna try. I'm not actually hitting him. Doggone it. Okay, I'm gonna have to go up there and get him. Something must have killed him while I was trying to get up to it. Like, the mages probably got up here and got him killed first. So lucky for me, I actually got the dragon soul out of the deal. And now I'm gonna kind of do a loop system. So when I craft these things up, I'm gonna be working on alchemy and potions while I'm crafting items and super suits. So it's going to sound confusing, but as I go through the motions here, it'll start making real good sense to you. Okay, guys, make sure whatever you have for alchemy is equipped so you can craft as strong as possible right now, and I already do. Now, this isn't going to be great. This is going to get us going. We're going to be recrafting these here in just a minute, so don't come in here and craft everything. And again, you're going to have to be cognizant of how many you actually can craft. So in the smithing world, that's not much. But the very first thing I'm worried about is enchanting. And again, you know, I've got plenty of enchanting here, so that's not a problem. Now, 1 potion per piece, guys. So you're going to go through these fast. So that's why I've been telling you throughout the walkthrough here, keep these items especially. So I'm going to craft 4 right off the top here, and it's only 14% stronger. Again, we're not great yet. But, you know, just keep that in mind. And this will make a lot of sense here as we get going. Okay, so what we're going to come over here and do now is enchant 4 articles of clothing, specifically for... actually, I need to see what I can disenchant first. Stand by. Get rid of some more weight. Okay, I'm actually safe to disenchant these now because I'm literally here right now to encraft my alchemy super suit. So that being said, I'm going to back out and drop 1 more hard save, guys. Alright guys, so as soon as you have that save down, go ahead and disenchant the alchemy. And we're safe to do that now because we are actually working on the alchemy super suit right here and right now. So if you don't have all the items memorized as to what you can enchant for what, you can always go to the enchantment first. So go ahead and highlight alchemy, then you can come up here, and then it kind of makes it, you know, me-proof, I'll call it, so you kind of know what you're doing here. So now everything that's highlighted, I can enchant with that already highlighted, you know, enchantment. So for right now, I'm going to do a headpiece, gauntlets, a necklace, and a ring. And I'm going to use the cheapest stuff first, you know, but, so I'm going to kind of go in a pecking order here, but I'm going to do 4 pieces all together, and, you know, like I said, I'm going to do that super suit. Now, you can actually make 5 pieces for the super suit. For the headgear, as long as you're using circlets, and this is why I recommend circlets, guys, I know they're heavy, but you can combine that with a Falmer helmet. It's the only thing that works in the game that enables you to wear 2 clothing items on 1 spot. So you can actually craft 5 things for alchemy right now, and I don't have any Falmer helmets, but I will. And when I get it, I'm gonna, you know, enchant that too, and I'm gonna be wearing 5 articles of clothing for alchemy. But for right now, I've only got the 4, so that's all I'm gonna do. Now, before I actually craft anything, guys, and this is another reason I want to put that save down, you're gonna have to drink potions to make these happen, you know, as strong as possible. So, you know, wherever my enchanting potions are, again, I've only got 4. So here we go. And you gotta be kind of quick. So you kind of, you know, might already want to know where things are at, or, you know, you've got a pretty good idea of what you're doing. Okay, so 19% more powerful. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when we start putting these soul gems into things, it will be a lot. Now, I need to make sure I don't overcraft with my grand soul gems. Right now, I need to have at least 4 for my super suit that I'm going to wear out and about in combat, and 2 more for the 2 bows that I want to craft. That's a total of 6. So, you know, I don't know how many grand soul gems I have right now, but I'm in real good shape to make some of these other super suits while I'm going. Just keep in the back of your mind, try not to drop below 6. Now, that black soul gem counts as a grand. Okay, now, as long as you're in this menu, the time isn't ticking against you. That 30 seconds only counts when you're fumbling through the menus, trying to find the soul gem, the enchantment, and the item. But as soon as you get in here to type, you know, you can kind of relax a little bit, take the time you need to type. But as soon as you back out of this typing menu, then the timer starts back up. So, you know, as soon as you're done typing it however you want, just remember when you're done typing and you hit that 3 lines button, or whatever it is on your system, just remember that 30 seconds is going to start counting against you once again. So at that point, you'll have to hit that craft button. For me, that's the X button. And, you know, accept or whatever. And then you're free. Items crafted, you're good to go. Now, guys, everything alphabetizes. So anything, you know, crafting, anything smithing, anything alchemy, I always put A first plus a space. And then I put, you know, what it is. It's alchemy, so I kind of abbreviate. And it's a circlet, you know, so I know what I'm putting on. And then I put 19 there because that's what tells me how strong it is. So later on when I craft a stronger one, say it's going to be like 50 or something, then I'll kind of know which circlet I need to sell and which circlet I need to keep. Okay, there it is. Item number 1. So continuing our journey here for alchemy. So I've got my headpiece done. Now I'm going to go to the gauntlets. Actually, I'm not going to use these gauntlets. I'm going to use the hide bracers because these are just dummy suits for now. Save your Forsworn gauntlets and Forsworn headdress for our actual combat suit. Oh, and I totally forgot to drink my potion. I'm like, wait, I'm missing something.
Fruits and vegetables, all ripe and ready for your table.
Okay, now this one says 20, and that's okay. Sometimes as your enchanting skill goes up, and if I'm reading my screen right now, I'm at level freaking 100 already? No freaking way. Stand by. Hold the thought process. Oh, it was my potion. I'm a freaking genius. Okay, I need to reload that save and do this all again. I kind of brain farted there. Yeah, so when the potion is active, it's going to show that in the enchanting strength down at the bottom. I totally spaced on that. I was like, no way, I just got it up that high. I was going to unlock that, you know, 2 enchantments for 1 item and just really go to town, but man, I thought I was in Disneyland there for a second. Actually, guys, it's not that big of a deal right now. You know, 18 to 21% or 20% on just 1 of the 4 items probably won't even affect the outcome of the potion. So, you know, just to save the trouble of reloading the save just to drink the potion in order to do that, I'll still have 3 left and I'll be good to go, you know. It's okay. So for right now, I'm just going to, you know, craft this one straight up without the potion. Okay, so again, that's why I like that to read.
Yes, that's right. Whether or not I'm interested.
Jewelry. So again, I'm going to start, you know, cheap and work my way up. So a ring and a necklace is what I need now. Alright, there it is. And last but not least, the necklace. And sometimes you can get in a hurry here, so be aware of that. Sometimes you can get in a hurry and you mistake Fortify Archery for Fortify Alchemy, and you get there to put your super suit on, and you're like, whoa, 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 what happened? Alright guys, so there's my super suit. Go ahead and favorite all those just for right now. Oh, before I equip all of those items, I want to show you guys the difference that we just made. So now, I'm interested in this point is a smithing potion. Just to kind of show you the reason I didn't want to craft any before this point. Check that out. Increases, you know, weapons armor 50%. Not bad. Watch what happens after we equip the super suit.
If that's what you're here.
88%, guys. That almost doubles it. We're a little shy, you know. We don't quite have our alchemy all the way up yet. But, you know, we can get that up over 100. So, you know, not a bad deal. So I think the first time I came over here and I crafted the enchanting potions, they were only 14% stronger. So now, you know, 14% versus 22%, that's a pretty good leap. But I don't know if it's a big enough leap to make me really want to go enchant something else and waste another Grand Soul Gem. So the first thing that comes to mind is maybe I'll do it one time for another Hide Bracer and get that one that's lower up higher, just because I'm really curious to see what the difference is. And since I've got, you know, plenty of ingredients here, there's no harm in that. Okay, so only 2 points. Honestly, it's not worth it to me to waste a Grand Soul Gem for those 2 extra points. So for right now, you know, that was unnecessary, and that's okay. I didn't waste much, I just wasted the 1 enchanting potion. I got plenty of ingredients to go around, so no reason to reload save. So for right now, we did good. And also for right now, what I'm going to do is craft up 4 more of these for now the smithing set. But before I do that, up as high as possible. If I can get up to 80, that's going to be even better. And in that endeavor, I might go ahead and run myself down to 0 on some of these. I don't want to use the glowing mushroom. Again, that's for smithing right now, and because I'm not, you know, real strong on that. Okay, marksman, remember what we were crafting before? You know, 50% better. Now we're up to 88%, but don't craft these yet. First of all, I don't use that anyway. Use those. But yeah, guys, it's going to be stronger. So when we're all done with this, you know, little segment, that's when we're going to want to craft our fortified marksman potions. So when I talk about accelerating our damage output, wowzers. I don't want to use the juniper berries because I need that for the other one right now. For the... Actually, I got more back in Whiterun, so that's okay. For the marksman potions. Nope, can't use those either. Wow. I am so freaking close. Okay, guys, this is a priority, so again, I'm gonna work on this here a little bit and get that up where it needs to be, so that I can get that last perk point dumped into my potions. Then I might actually craft another freaking set. Okay, now vampire dust does combine for invisibility. So, awesome. I've got a couple of moth wings there. I knew there were more formulas there I was missing, so I'm kind of glad I remembered that. I'm so freaking close. Okay, so hog raven feather and lavender go together. But I don't know how much they sell for. Okay, so not great, but honestly, it's good enough.
I apologize, Master.
Now, just to give you guys another option, I know hog raven claws also go with something. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. Okay, and I want to say that's purple mountain flower, but honestly, again, I don't know how much they sell for. Okay, so again, not fabulous, but it's something. But again, I'm over 80, so I'm just kind of trying to unlock different formulas for you guys. But if, you know, you're getting stuck, you can always type into Google, what does, you know, Glowdust combine with? What does Giant Lichten combine with? And it'll usually bring up a list for you. Okay, guys, so I'm going to back out now and go ahead and dump that perk point right into that alchemy skill. Booyah. Okay, now that being said, I'm going to save the game once again. I know, lots of saving, guys. It's okay. And again, I've got the ingredients to support doing this. That's why it's important to me to make sure I'm as strong as possible right now going into this. So we started out at 14%. We're now doing 25%. That's double benefit as to what we were doing beforehand. Alright, guys. I'm going to put a quick save here, just, you know, in case I make a boo-boo with my potions or whatever. Oh, I'm having an issue. Okay, notice that little thing, and I don't know if it's coming through on my channel. I'll try to find a dark spot on the wall. But very, very bottom right-hand side of my screen down there, you'll see that little stupid wagon wheel thing just spinning around. Guys, if you ever notice that happening and it's not going away, that means there's some kind of a saving issue. And that can kind of break that save point. And that usually happens with the autosaves, and they can become corrupt. So if that's happening, the easiest way I know how to fix it is go into your menu and try to load a save. And it's probably going to glitch out on you like I'm pushing my button right now and nothing's happening. That's okay. Just give it a minute, you know, try to push load again. And if nothing happens, back out. I didn't mean to do that, by the way. Go ahead and back out. And then try that again. Go into load. And try to pushing that button if nothing happens. You know, notice that wheel just kind of stopped spinning around. It hiccuped. Now on my Xbox, I can go to my home screen by pushing the big Xbox button. And on the Switch, I think it's that little... what is it? The little square button? I need to look at my Switch controller. No, it's the little home button. So, you know, if it's not working the first way I showed you, go to your home button. If that doesn't unstick it, like mine is pretty well locked up right now, the game's broken. You've got to actually, you know, close the software and go back into your game. Now I'm going to reload a save earlier. I don't want to do the quick save. So I'm going to have to recraft those potions, and that's okay. Because that quick save was kind of already when that was having an issue, so I just want to make sure it's not corrupted game. Okay, and I want to save over that other quick save, just to make sure, you know, nothing is corrupted. So now I should be good to go. No more, you know, wagon wheel spinning at the bottom right. Alright guys, so just like before, get her done. Now let's see what the difference is here in the items. So I'm going to go right for that very, you know, the weakest one, the bracers.
I wanted to thank you.
21%. So not a ton of difference. So I'll probably only do the one piece, you know, because everything else is 20. So, you know, I don't want to waste grand soul gems just for one more point. But this one, you know, might make enough of a difference to put something over in smithing.
She watched while we ate it.
I have a
When
little
she
of
saw
everything.
how
See for
she
yourself.
was so...
Okay, yeah, so guys, in the grander scheme of things, I probably made the right call there, you know, just to save on the soul gems. Now, if you're low on soul gems, you know, you've only got, say, 6 left, don't do what I just did. It only makes sense to do that if whatever leveling happened in between the first super suit and the second super suit for, in, you know, Alchemy, is that much of a spread, then it's only worth it. But, you know, I'm glad I got rid of that one and bumped it to 21. So now all those 3 are pretty doggone comparable. You know, if I really wanted to, I could bump that one 2 more also. But, you know, if I bumped all 3 of these to 21, then I'm only looking at 4 extra, you know, percent going in combined total. And it's just not going to make a difference. So, you know, this one was already questionable. But it's really not worth 3 more grand soul gems now to do the other 3 pieces. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay, now just to kind of show you, that's not going to make a real big difference, especially in the enchanting, and it probably won't even affect it as a matter of fact. No, 25. But it will affect the other stuff, so watch this. 101, guys. So, you know, I could go craft another piece or something, and that might bump it up a little more, but again, that kind of gets into the whole, is it really worth the grand soul gems? So for right now, at this stage in the game, I'm good to go. What I am going to do is craft, let's see, 1, 2 of these for right now. And that way if I, you know, that gives me some wiggle room there with my glowing mushrooms. Alright guys, once again, go ahead and put down a hard save right here. Okay, so now we should have 4 potions for enchanting ready to rock and roll. I got my save down. So now we're going to work on the smithing suit. I actually need to disenchant the smithing thing first. I'll see if I can make this happen before it runs out. That 30 seconds goes fast.
Vegetables all ripe and ready for your table. Take home.
Okay, and I'm up to 21 now, so awesome. Okay, so that's how I like them to read for the smithing set now. Once again, everything alphabetizes, so I'm going to put that A in front of it, space, and then these will file in right underneath my alchemy super suit.
Both sides have been snapping them up.
Okay, so next up is our ring, and you guys can quick save this every time you do one. That way if you do boo-boo, you don't have to go through all of them all over again.
Assorted fruits and
Got
vegetables.
another
All
ripening
delicious
on the
and
vine.
affordable.
Matter of fact, I'm going to follow my own advice just so I don't have to do this again in case I boo-boo. This is why I kept these from the earlier on in the game. You guys probably remember me talking about that. Because they're lightweight, they're only a pound. So if I'm going to wear a shirt for smithing or, you know, crafting, I don't want it to be heavy. Okay, so there you have it. And last but not least, the bracers. Okay, right, for that hide bracer, and it only weighs a pound. That's another reason I like to use those, especially for my crafting stuff. There it is. Alright, we got our super suits done, guys. Now, we can finally craft our bows. But before we do that, you guessed it, save that game. Okay, now the smithing suit doesn't need to be worn yet. Alright, so let's try this again. Right into my Orcish bows. I'm gonna craft 3 of them, assuming I have the materials to support doing that. Now, if you really want, you can buy a bunch of iron ingots and Orcish ingots and just craft a whole bunch of bows, and you can see that's really pushing up my stat there for smithing. But, I'm going to show you guys a way to bump smithing up to 100, at some point. So right now, this is still not as good as we can get, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than what we have. Okay, so once you've got your 3 bows crafted, what you can do is then, get him off this grindstone. So in order to do that, you just kind of got to keep using it, and then... Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. We need to equip our super suit. But before I do that, I want to show you the difference. Okay, so right now I can upgrade a bow from 24 to 35. And guys, that's already comparable to what we were doing with our dwarven bow before, any fun stuff. So, we're already back to where we should be, to where we're used to being. And guys, this isn't even it. Watch what happens when I put that super suit on. Alright, so go ahead and equip that bad boy, all your smithing stuff ready to rock and roll. And let's see what happens. Massive difference, guys. Now, that's not a big number yet, we're still not where we need to be. But that's okay. It's really going to start stacking when we go get this thing enchanted. But this is base damage, remember. When we get that smithing skill up even more, it's going to get even better. But guys, I'm still not done. 44 is good, but watch what happens when I drink the potion. Okay, 110% better, guys. Go ahead and drink that bad boy. 60 freaking 5. You are going to be blown away when we go back out to do literally anything fun. Okay, but I'm going to try to take full advantage of that potion that's still working, and see if I can get in here and get some of my armor stuff upgraded. Scratch that. Before I do that, I'm going to show you guys what we're in for. So that goes from 29. Now, I'm already wearing the smithing super suit. So just with the super suit, gets it up to 39. Pretty significant difference. Okay, so I'm going to back out and drink the potion.
Everyone says...
This is another reason you need to have a bunch of leather on your person. 51, baby. So not only are we going to be stronger in combat, we are going to be better equipped for longevity. So I like to craft a couple of, things there. Maybe even a first shoe or 2. Hide bracers, sure. Because I'm not always going to be in a set bonus situation. So it's whatever right now. And again, we can increase these. Now we're going to enchant some of them, but not all of them. But we are going to unlock a perk under our smithing wheel. In fact, I could even do that here in just 3 more level ups in smithing. And then it doesn't matter whether or not it's enchanted anymore. So what I'm going to do is enchant all this stuff, and then, down the road I'll work on my smithing again. And then I can kind of periodically check my armor and my weapons, even though they're enchanted, and see if I can bump them any further as I go. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful system here, guys. Alright, so enough jibber-jabber about all that. I've got my bows crafted. I've got my weapons crafted. Actually, if you want to download, wait now, because we're about to craft bows. Once again, guys, save that game.
Metal hammered.
And then you can sell your old dwarven bows, get rid of the weight, because we don't need them anymore.
Helmets.
Okay, I overbought there. That's okay. I just wanted those bows gone. The reason I said put that save down was because... sometimes a dragon attack or something will happen, or you'll warp away not thinking of anything of it, because you're always used to having your bows. And you'll get in some kind of fist fight and realize you're completely helpless. So yeah, you know, yours truly found that out the hard way. Good times. Okay, so I got the alchemy set back on. And one more super suit, guys. This is the last one, so 4 more potions. In fact, if you want to craft a couple more, you know, just so you have them when you're out and about for some emergency enchanting or something, you can do that. Actually, 4 for the set, and then we need 3 more for the bows. But I'm not going to craft one for the follower's bow, because I don't want her to be too powerful. Otherwise, she goes in there and kills everything and scoops up all of your soul trapping opportunities. So I'm actually only going to craft 2 more of these for my bows. So a total of 6 potions now. Which means that's kind of why I said earlier on you need a total of 6 more grand soul gems to finish things up. And this is the super suit that's really going to make it all come together right here and right now. So Forsworn armor. And I'm going to use Conjuration, because I want to start working on that, so that's just for me. You know, you guys can put whatever you want on here. But now Archery doesn't go on the shirts. So Archery is for, like, necklace, ring, bracer, and headwear. So, you know, I'm just kind of doing the shirt right now, you know, to have something on it, because I'm going to be wearing it anyway. You might as well get some kind of added bonus on there. So that's going to be like your magic. You can put magic regen on there. You can put extra magic on there. But again, I just kind of really want the Conjuration, because personally that's what I want to work on next in my game. But you can do more than one. So, you know, you can do one of these for Conjuration. Then you can do one for, say, magic regen. You know, just whatever you want to do there. Okay, so that's how I like to name those. Now, I use BZ so that these things, you know, when they alphabetize, they file in right above my bows. This way, you know, I can switch back and forth between my bows, which are going to be C bow, and then, you know, things like casting, you know, candlelight and conjure whatever. And that also flips back and forth between whatever else is C. I can't even think of it right now. But yeah, so it's just kind of all in one spot in my favorites list this way. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the archery suit, guys. Now, once again, you know, if you don't know the stuff that have it memorized, just go down to Fortify Archery. And then you can, you know, have a little bit of wiggle room. Then you can figure out what you got to enchant. So I'm going to do Forsworn Gauntlets. 34%, guys. Now, imagine what's going to happen when I have 4 of these. Now, I can do this the other way. I can say Archery first. Or I can put Archery second. So, you know, it just depends on how you want them to alphabetize. If you want all the Archery gear together, then, you know, do the Arch after the BZ. And then everything you craft will be BZ Arch and then whatever it is. So, you know, that's how you keep your super suits together as to what they are. But if you want to do it by items, like if you just want to be able to thumb through all the gauntlets, then that's when you have to put gauntlet before the archery. And then that'll alphabetize BZ Gaunt, whatever you have in gauntlets. And then, you know, so it just depends on how you want them alphabetized. In fact, I'll probably do it 2 different ways throughout my playthrough so you guys can kind of see how that works in my favorites menu when I'm actually doing, you know, real gameplay. Okay, next up is the headdress. Probably should go ahead and save my game right now. It's a lot of work going in and I don't want to boo-boo. And be careful again, when you're in a hurry, you might mistake alchemy for archery, so be aware of that too going in. Okay, so I've got the headdress, the gauntlets. Next is going to be a necklace and a ring. Okay, last but not least is going to be the ring. Alright guys, now I kind of boo-booed there. I forgot about the shirt. So I'm wearing 5 articles of clothing right now. Actually 6. So I've got the headgear. I've got the shirt. And then I've got bracers and footwear. And then I've got ring and necklace. So I should have said hold 8 grand soul gems back and cook 8 enchanting potions. And guys, that Falmer helmet trick I told you about before with a circlet, and you know, the Falmer helmet combination, you can do that with Archery too, by the way. So you can actually have 5 clothing items with attack power up on your bow. So I've got my shirt for Conjuring. I've got my gauntlets for Archery. Headwear for Archery. Neck for Archery. Ring for Archery. Now that Circlet of Conjuration, I don't need that anymore. But I can still wear it if I don't want to wear the Archery head. So what happens is that'll stack. So if I just really want to do a lot of like conjuring stuff, I'll sacrifice just that little bit of extra archery, I'll sacrifice that 30%, that 34% there for my archery in favor of conjuring stuff. Now, that can go back and forth. So if I don't care about casting stuff right then and there, then I can, give up that conjuring for the better archery attack power. So, it's just really, it depends on the situation. That's why I want all of these kind of, organized by what they are and stuff. So they're right there in that favorites menu, all right next to each other. It just really, really helps in combat to be able to open that favorites, get what you need to do super, super fast, and get right back into the heat of things. Alright guys, so now I am missing a clothing item here that we can wear, and that's the footwear. So now, again, this is where you might want some more Grand Soul gems. And again, I kind of did things by priority. So what I can do here is craft and I won't drink a potion just yet. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So what I can do, and I still need to think about the 2 potions I need for the bows that I still haven't even done yet. So yeah, the footwear, guys, you can use boots, the Forsworn boots, and I've only got the 1 pair, so that'll be my combat pair, because again, that's got the armor rating to it. But I can also just wear, garbage shoes or whatever. Matter of fact, I think I got some fur shoes specifically for that reason. So, what I'll do is, I'll put a couple of different things on. So now I'll probably put, like, weight capacity on my fur shoes, and then I'll also put... for those Forsworn boots, so I have that set bonus, and that's what I'll do for like either fire, frost, or shock damage control, and I'll get to a point where I have all 3, but I've only got the 1 pair of Forsworn boots right now, so that's really unfortunate. So what I'll do is I'll disenchant, actually no, I've already got a pair of boots that I use for frost damage control. So what I'll do is I'll craft these into the fire damage control, then I have 2 different boots I can use for 2 different situations. But again, ideally I'd want 3 boots going that would be part of that set bonus for the Forsworn, and then I'll have 1 for shock, 1 for flame, 1 for frost. And then you could also even have 1 for weight carrying capacity. Okay, once again, right back into Enchanting. Okay, so I'm going to do the boots first. 49, that's half of incoming fire gone. We don't even have to worry about half of that damage anymore, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, it looks like I have to craft 1 more freaking potion, because I'm going to run short on my bows once again. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use those fur shoes now, just for the weight carrying capacity. Okay, there they are. So exactly the same type of thought process, folks, in the apparel. So there you go. My boots are together now, so it's quick and easy to switch back and forth around. But watch my carry weight. I'm at 340 right now. Okay, so bam. That already helps. Now, if you really want, you can craft even more clothing items. You can craft ring, necklace, bracer, I think. Maybe even headgear. I can't really remember now what does what. Actually, I can tell you that right now. Okay, so yeah, you can do bracers or gauntlets for carry weight. So, I might do a hide bracer, just, if I want to sacrifice, once again, the archery, because I need the carry weight, then I can make that decision. So it just gives you some wiggle room when you're out and about in combat. So I've already got the shoes, but if I really wanted to, I could craft, like I said, bracers, necklace or rings, and just really give myself a whole bunch of carry weight capacity. Make that decision based on how you feel, what you may or may not need while you're out and about, and also keep in mind your Grand Soul Gem inventory. See those blue butterfly wings, guys? That's what I was talking about. Like, they go. They can really go. So now I'm making a mental note. I definitely need to go out and look for some blue butterflies.
My master can be a bit...
Okay, so now I have 2 articles of clothing to bump my weight, and again, I have wiggle room with that as to the situation. So real nice feature to have. Okay guys, it's bow time. The whole reason I'm even doing this video. And just like before, 1 for souls. And look at that, we're up to 10 seconds now, guys. You can't beat it. That's just going to make it so much, you know, more relaxing when we're out there doing our soul trapping. Okay, that's how I like my bows to read now. When I start, you know, getting into different things that I want to keep track of, this way I can just get a real quick look in the inventory, especially the favorites menu, and see exactly what I've got without having to actually go into the inventory menu. So, you know, do that how, you know, whatever works for you. That's just, you know, my personal kind of go-to system there. Now, since I actually have a bow crafted, I want to show you what happens, and the whole reason we went through all this trouble for like the last 3.5 hours. Well, my video won't be that long, but yeah, I've been here a minute. What are we at? 65. Already better, right? We're already doing better than whatever our old Dwarven bow was. I think 38 or something. I honestly can't even remember anymore. So yeah, we're already, you know, head and shoulders above that. So now let's go ahead and equip the Archery super suit, and we're about to see what happens. Okay, so that's the gauntlets, the headgear, the necklace, and the ring. All of those do 34 each, and they all stack, guys. Now look at this bow. When I said it was going to blow your mind, I hope I am not underselling here. And guys, we haven't even enchanted this yet. Okay, we did. I mean, it's got the soul trap, whatever, but that's not attack power damage. So already in our attack power output, so that damage output I keep talking about, guys, we're already like, what, tripled, quadrupled, or some craziness like that. And that's good enough, right? But wow, watch what happens now when I actually enchant a bow for attack power. Okay, frost damage, guys. All those stacks we were doing before. 41 extra points of frost damage. Okay, I forgot what the number was there. I put 61, but, you know, I'll just kind of keep in my mind that those were made at the same time. No big deal. All right, folks, there it is. You know, what is that? 154 plus 41 for simple math, say 200 damage output right now. And, guys, we were at what? We were lucky to be up around 70 or something before, and I haven't even drank a potion yet. Check out what happens when I drink a potion on top of that. So what is that, 154? And I can craft better right now. You know, these are our old potions still. 230, guys. 101% extra damage. Wowzers. Alright, I don't want to drink one right now because I don't want to waste it, but yeah, that's really going to bump that bow up. Guys, I'm telling you, like, all the struggles we've had thus far, if you've been stuck in a dungeon, if you just said, you know what, he keeps saying if you want to come back later, come back later. Guys, it's later. With this damage output, there's nothing that you haven't seen by now that you can't handle. Now, of course, you know, you can still die. It still happens to me. You know, drop those saves, you know, when you need to along the way before you get into epic combat, whatever. Do I want to work on my destruction? I'm only at 45. I've got 3 more levels. You know, 15 more. Wow, yeah. So I'm not chomping at the bit for this, but it would be nice to have. But honestly, that's okay, because when I go to Solstheim, which, guys, I'm level 32, level 36 is right around the corner. When we go to Solstheim, we're going to be disenchanting another weapon type out there. And then, guys, this is really going to matter. So I'll probably actually kind of time that for right around that time. And yeah, that enchantment for the frost, it's just going to make it go absolutely bonkers. That 41, that the frost damage, you know, it's going to be like triple or quadruple that. So guys, when I say we're going to be pushing 1,000 for our attack damage output, yeah, that you're going to see that in this walkthrough. Alright folks, so I know it was a massive video. I know there's a lot of information in there. But it's worth it, you know, so if you still are kind of struggling a little bit, you know, just go out there and farm those potions. That's where it all starts. Getting the selling power, and then all the perks, just kind of everything lines up, guys. So, you know, I'd like to invite you at this time to go back through some of my prior crafting videos or leveling videos or whatever they're called. You know, they might say enchanting, they might say smithing, they might say, you know, speech, whatever. Give all those a watch, and it just kind of shows you the progression along the way and how I got to this moment. So folks, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that helped you all out. If you really enjoyed and appreciated the information I provided, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'd really like for this information to get pushed as best as possible. You know, the more people that can view this particular video, the better. Alright folks, again, hope that helps. Best of luck, and happy hunting.